This is Tim Mushey from the blog Sell, Lead, Succeed, and today I present to you a speech I recently did at my Toastmasters club contest. Our club normally has 7 to 10 people in attendance, but that night it ballooned to 22 with judges and a very official format. The speech was called, "Don't Let Setbacks Change the Incredible You." Hope you enjoy it. Everybody has endured bumps in the road during their lives. Those who tell you that they've lived a perfect life aren't telling you the complete story. Persevering through challenging and difficult times helps shape who we are today, but also who we will become tomorrow. Tonight, I share with you 3 game-changing events in my life that has helped shape the person standing before you tonight. Think back for a moment to elementary or grade school. One of the things that teachers often did was have the children speak out loud from a novel or a textbook to develop their speaking skills. For me, I would have rather hid in the corner in a ball and pretended I wasn't even there. You see, growing up with a childhood stutter made me very nervous speaking in front of my classmates. One particular time had a very profound effect on me. It was in grade 3 and it was my French class, and my teacher asked me to say a passage out loud. To say the least, I stuttered, I stumbled, I floundered, I felt horrible, anxiety overcame my body. I just couldn't get through it. Well, she walked up to me and asked a very strange question. She asked me to open my mouth. I'm not sure what she planned on finding in there, but she asked me to open my mouth anyways. After a quick analysis of the inside of my mouth, she proclaimed that maybe if there were some pebbles and rocks in my mouth, it would help me speak more clearly. I was humiliated in front of my classmates, and I felt like I was the only person in the world at that moment. I was angry, I was bitter, and I thought about that event for a very long time. Very angry towards the teacher. As I reflect back upon it as an adult now, I can take the positive from it and say, you know what? It helped me develop a thick skin, be confident, how I was born, and just gave me the strength to develop into the person I am today. Fast forward to my university days and a computer science class. All I knew through high school was A's and B pluses. Tim was a top-notch student. So I enrolled in this computer science course and things went miserable very fast. I had trouble completing the assignments. I had a real difficult time understanding the course content, and I just didn't have fun. The course was for the complete year, so I didn't want to drop it. Walked into the exam at Christmas and things went horribly. I blanked out, I couldn't remember anything, and I absolutely panicked. And I don't know if you've ever had that experience, but it is not fun. For somebody who's only ever done well in school, this was brand new to me and I did not know how to react. I panicked for the remainder of the exam, tried to remember anything, but it just didn't go well. Finally, the professor yelled, "Time's up," and I started to scribble a few things down feverishly, hoping to get a few answers right. I proceeded to the front of the class holding my exam, and the professor says, "You realize I can fail you because you went overtime." Now remember, there are about 200 people in the class. I then said to the professor, "Professor, do you know who I am?" And he says, No, I do not." Well, I slammed my page down in the middle of the exams and I ran off. That isn't a true story from me. I actually heard it a couple times and thought it was pretty funny. So even if I had slammed that exam down in the middle of the pile, anonymously, I still would have failed, and fail I did. I took a breath after Christmas, decided to drop the course, and picked up some extra credit in the second semester. I ended up passing all those courses and got accepted into the Faculty of Commerce in a business program the following year. So basically, if you have a rough go on an exam or two, it doesn't define you as a person. You can always recover, get back on track, and successfully get where you successfully need to go through your course studies. During my career, I had a wonderful run for 8 years with one organization, but as things changed, I decided to step away and take on new challenges. I went into an exciting new industry with a new attitude and just a clean slate. I was re-energized. What happened next was a classic story of what have you done for me lately. In my first year on the job, things went exceptionally well. I was one of the top sales reps in Canada, revered by my colleagues and managers alike. I was the toast of the town. That following January, we actually added a rep and split my territory because business was going so well. Within a few months, the bottom dropped out. The economy crashed. We went through some changes within our management team, and I was just not having fun anymore. we were struggling to maintain our pace, and the economy kept spiraling downward, and things were not going well. I decided to embark on a bit of a job hunt just to see what else was out there. Things weren't going too well in the job hunt, and then I got a new sales manager, and him and I just didn't see eye to eye. Two more months passed, and I finally got called into a conversation with my boss. He let me go. I was fired. Tim Mushey, who had known all this success, was now jobless and feeling awful. Those sick feelings were back in my stomach, the anxiety overcame my body, and I was just in a bad place. To top it off, my parents and in-laws were in for my son's birthday, and I had to come home and tell them that I lost my job. Everybody knew I'd be fine, but at that moment, I felt like a complete failure. 2 weeks passed, and I continued to question myself. Was this my fault? Could I have done anything different? What's going to become of me? How do I find a new job? I was panic-stricken and in an all-time bad place. My wife, after those 2 weeks, had a great idea and said, look, let's take our son, let's go out to the mountains for a few days. It basically became a time to rejuvenate, refocus, and reset. That's basically where my personal uprising began. From there, I got a new job, a new career, got a lot of clarity in my life, and decided I wanted to take on some new challenges. So from that very negative situation came the positive and everything I've become today. It's easy to believe our lives are shaped by all the successes that we've had, and that certainly comes into play. But those challenges, those setbacks, those difficult times really shape our character and help us fight through those very difficult times. Remember, when difficult things happen, it can go one of two ways. You can take it as a negative and go into a downward spiral, or take it as a positive and fight, persevere, and get where you really want to go. As I sit in front of you today, I can tap myself on the shoulder and say, you did it, bud. You've persevered through some very difficult times, and you've been able to accomplish what you have today and the other things you're going to do in the future. Thank you very much. So there you go. That was the speech I did the other night at my Toastmasters contest. I really enjoyed it, and I look forward to doing a lot more of that in the future.